First of all, I'd like to congratulate the Commission on finally having achieved what EU leaders have been talking about for decades. They've actually managed to get ordinary citizens interested in EU politics. ACTA is an issue that people on the net really care about. But, having said that, I still feel I must criticise the Commission for the method it has used. The reason so many citizens are following the ACTA issue is because they're furious. They're furious at proposals to limit their freedom and invade their privacy just because some big companies are asking for it. Furious because they see their fundamental civil liberties balanced against industry interests and coming up short. They're furious at the complete lack of transparency. This is not how it should be in a democracy. Tomorrow we will show that this is a parliament that is prepared to stand up for those rights in the information age. We will demand the information that is both our right and our duty as elected representatives, and we will respectfully remind the Commission that this is a parliament, not a doormat. Thank you.
If there is no such non-disclosure clause, all relevant documents must be made immediately and publicly available. If, on the other side, there is such a clause, we need to hear from the Commissioner what he will do to ensure full transparency and information of the public, not just of this House, because restricted access for the Members of Parliament only under condition of confidentiality is not enough. European citizens have a right to know about decisions that deeply affect their rights and freedoms. In any case, such non-disclosure agreements must become a thing of the past. The EU should in future insist that European standards of transparency apply. Commissioner, the democratic legitimacy of these negotiations is weak. There has not been any debate to establish the aims and principles of the EU. The mandate has not received any parliamentary approval. And you may argue that there is no legal requirement, but that is beside the point, because if 27 individuals, national ministers, consider that they can give themselves a mandate to negotiate in secret on the fundamental rights and freedoms of European citizens, I can only conclude that their understanding of democracy differs fundamentally from mine. Parliament means business. No 3 strikes out, no warrantless searches and confiscation of laptops or mobile phones. Parliament needs to have watertight guarantees that such clauses will not be introduced via the back door of an international agreement. Finally, Commissioner, I wish you an excellent trip to New Zealand next month, and please make sure that your iPod does not contain any illegally downloaded material. Thank you.
You are, to a certain extent, protecting me that they should not control my iPod. I have no iPod. So there is no problem yet. I have one, in fact, since yesterday, but I don't yet use it, and I'm not going to New Zealand. It's a little bit too far for that. You need officials who have a little bit more time to go there.
Our group is for openness, and we're against criminalisation of citizens or individuals. Now, ACTA is creating a climate of fear where the state is watching you, but it seems to go beyond international bodies. It goes too far, beyond the WTO. Now, why is the Commission going along with this secret cabal? Now, what's happening in this kitchen behind closed doors? What's at stake? Now, we are fighting for the interests of the citizens against this kind of secrecy. Now, we're against the counterfeiting of medicines and products, but it's not about that in this debate. What it's about is that the members of the European Parliament should be able to speak on this. It shouldn't be secret. Now, we cannot imagine such an infringement of our mandate. President, this stinking kitchen should be closed down. Thank you.
De Hanse discussie over de keuken die laat ik voor mevrouw Stassen.
Thank you very much. 1 minute for Patrick Le Ayaric.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you very much, President. Commissioner, we're all opposed to piracy and counterfeiting here. However, you've just told us a fairy tale, Commissioner, aimed at justifying your negotiating an international agreement out of sight of people and their representatives. let me quote Article 218 of the Lisbon Treaty. The European Parliament shall be fully informed of each stage of the procedure of any negotiations of international agreements.
Herzlichen Dank.
Thank you very much. Commissioner, transparency was one of the words that was most used during the hearings for the commissioners recently. And you again have said that everything is open and everything is transparent. But I have to say, this is a definition of transparency that I can't subscribe to, and that clearly goes for many other members of the House here this evening. Transparency is more than just throwing out a few piecemeal bits of information and then saying we can't disclose the rest because we've agreed that it would all remain confidential. We are now in a new era. We will not just blindly go ahead with international trade agreements if it is then going to influence EU legislation down the line.
Finally, let me make it very clear that what I have been saying and what I have been saying in the hearing should be taken seriously. I will do my utmost to have the agreement of the contracting parties that we can fully inform you. As long as that is not the case, I cannot disclose to you the drafts of the agreement, because that would breach the confidentiality agreement, and breaching such an agreement would have effects which are not limited to the ACTA negotiations, but who would have a spillover to a lot of other negotiations we have with these countries concerned. It would breach the confidentiality as such, and that makes all negotiations very difficult, if not impossible. But I'll do my best that you get the stuff. Thank you.